Hey, it's Ed Ball here, author of 39 Things About Life I Learned in Prison. Turn my mistake into your success. Check it out now. Don't ask why me, because people who usually ask that question, they're the ones who are always crying, they're always the ones who are blaming, they're the ones who expect others to solve their problems. And one thing they do that I used to do too is they also think that they're entitled to nothing but good fortune. And I remember I was hanging on the block with some of my buddies, and I remember telling them, before I go to prison, I will kill myself. Now, of course, I had no intentions of committing suicide because I had no intentions of going to prison. Because to me, death, calamity, and prison, all that type of stuff happen to other people. And then next thing I know, bam, I'm hit with a 39-year prison sentence. And I couldn't believe it. And I was crying the whole time. I was crying, why me? Why me? But then I got to thinking, well, why not me? I'm out here robbing, selling dope, carrying guns, kidnapping people. And even while I was having this conversation on the block, I had dope, guns, and everything on me. So once I stopped crying and I asked, well, why not me? I began to look at all the things that I had done, good and bad, and determined that I am in the situation that I placed myself in. So now what I try to do is I try to limit the bad things that I do. Now keep in mind, nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. We're going to continue to make mistakes forever. But I try to limit the bad and do more good. And understanding that bad things still happen to good people and good things happen to bad people. Now I know there's people out there who are probably saying, well, I don't do anything wrong. Well, if you know what's right and you don't do it, that's wrong. What do they call that? They call that a sin. Now, when you do more good, I believe that you will have better long-term positive outcomes or better outcomes down the road, as opposed to the short-lived, immediate positive outcomes. So you can take a drug dealer and take somebody who works every day. That drug dealer, nice cars, clothes, money, whatever. That person who works every day, living check to check, struggling. But if you look at them 10 years, 20 years down the road, that person who worked every day is doing better than that person who was selling those drugs, doing good those 10, 20 years ago. They're now in prison, dead, probably can't get a job if they're out of prison, just on drugs, and no telling. While that person who worked every day is probably stable, family, financially secure, nice house, can dress how he or she wants. So my basic message is, don't ask why me when you're experiencing misfortune. Don't cry about it. Don't blame others. Solve your own problems. And once you ask the question, why me, as opposed to why not me, then you can begin solving the problem that puts you in a position to where you feel that you have to ask, why me? Check out my book, 39 Things About Life I Learned in Prison. And I have a chapter in there called Don't Ask Why Me.